Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining the Locate2u live demonstration. And so I'm great to be here and just to walk you through the Locate2u product. So my name is Steve Orenstein, and I'm the founder and CEO of Locate2u. We're actually a publicly owned business that's listed on the Australian Stock Exchange under the holding company of Zoom2u Technologies, which is ASX Z2U. So today's demonstration is all about sharing with you our vision for Locate2u and the functionality that we've been working on over a number of months and new functionality that's been released, but also talking you through some of the functionality that's coming into the future. Today is not about if you've got a support issue or if you're sort of something that's very specific for your business. Definitely reach out to us. We want to know about it if you've got something that you want to find out about how Locate2u can work specifically for your business. But today is more about sort of some of the high level things that we're working on and some of the overall functionality that we're building inside of the business. That being said, we're very happy to answer any questions. Feel free to use the chat functionality. We'll pick up any of those questions. If we don't answer them throughout this demonstration today, we will contact you post the demonstration to answer any of those questions. So let's get started. So just to give you a little bit background on those that don't know about Locate2u and where we sort of came from. It originally all started with our business, Zoom2u. Zoom2u was started in 2014, and it was a business that's designed to do same-day delivery across Australia. We built our own technology platform that runs Zoom2u and continues to run Zoom2u today. And what we found in 2018 was that we had a number of customers that were asking us to use the technology that we built inside of Zoom2u, but for their own business. And that led to the beginning of the Locate2u product, which is now sold right across the world. We've got customers in many countries, and as you can see on the graph on the screen here, our revenue has substantially grown since we started that process back in December 20. And so it's really taken us some time to establish the product, and now what we're seeing is there's been real adoption of the product right throughout the world. All of these numbers are public, as we are a public company, and anyone can freely trade shares in our company via the ASX and under the code of Z2U. So talking about our platform and what we're building into the future, there's been a number of enhancements that we've made into the platform that we haven't necessarily communicated to all of our customers just yet, because some of them we weren't ready, and now we are ready. And now we want to let you know about sort of things that we've built, but also things that we're building into the future. When you look at the screen here, there's a number of aspects where we start off on the left-hand side here at the top, where we capture the booking, and that's around capturing that order that you receive from your customers and pushing that into Locate2u. Many customers today do this through our API, but they also do it through our integrations with Shopify, and there's an app available on the Shopify App Store, as well as doing imports through Excel. And we've done a number of improvements around how you can actually pull that data into the system. Once that booking comes into the system, it'll then go through and be dispatched, and we can dispatch it to drivers manually or using our route optimization engine. And in fact, in the coming weeks and months, you'll actually start to see the first part of our automated dispatch engine that will allow you to actually dispatch out to your drivers automatically using the functionality and the algorithms that we've built inside of Locate2u. This will determine the best driver based on a series of rules, and will allow you to just be able to look at that list of drivers and be able to select it and allocate to that driver. The next stage of that will actually go through to automatic allocation. And so you'll see some real efficiencies inside of your business in being able to optimize the way in which it's actually running by using the Locate2u platform. The next area that we've recently updated is our carrier marketplace. And I'm going to walk you through some aspects of this shortly. The carrier marketplace allows you to connect to other carrier networks, so other courier companies right across the world, to do those deliveries on your behalf. Many of our customers today use Locate2u to dispatch to their own fleet of their own drivers, but we now have the ability where you can take those bookings and then dispatch them out to other carrier networks to do those deliveries on your behalf. This might be used in an instance where you're using it for overflow work, or it might be that you're starting to use Locate2u, you don't have your own group of drivers, and you want to start by being able to dispatch to third-party carrier networks. Today, we've got about 5 carriers on the platform. Our goal is to get into hundreds of carriers, and we've actually got a team working directly on building out more carriers into the carrier marketplace. So if you're interested in a particular carrier that's not there right now and you're wanting them to be part of the network, just reach out to us. The best way to reach out to us is via email or even using our live chat on the website. So from there, you go through the process of optimization. We've just released a new update just this week, and it's in the early stages of improving the way in which optimization works. So the optimization core engine, that works really well and optimizes. what we found was when companies were doing a large volume of bookings over 1,000, then the map screen was lagging slightly. We've improved the speed of how that actually operates in a new update that I'll show you shortly. Finally, once you've dispatched that work, it goes to the driver app. The drivers then receive that booking, and there's a number of improvements that we've made on the driver app over the last few months. These updates haven't been released, but in the next week or so, we will be releasing that publicly to the App Store. There's a number of customers that are actually in private beta and are using the app in a private way, not through the App Store. And we've had a lot of great feedback from those customers. We really thank them for the feedback that they've provided to us on the app. From there, that actually goes through. You complete the booking. You can go through the process of scanning. I'm going to walk you through some of the barcode scanning functionality we now have available, and then going through a review process, and then through to invoicing. So invoicing is now a part of the system where you as a logistics business or even a service business can use the platform to generate the pricing on how you wish to bill your customers. And it can work out a range of different rates based on the different criteria that you might have inside of the system. This then allows you to pay your drivers, but then also allows you to send that through to your accounting system and also invoice your customers. Now, the billing and rates functionality and some of these areas that we're talking about today is only available on the enterprise version of the product. So again, if you're interested in using it, then do reach out to us and we can talk to you about how that can be used inside of your account. There's a couple of new things that we are working on right now. As I mentioned earlier, there's the new mobile app that's about to be released. There's some better search functionality that I'm going to give you a preview of today as well. There's the automated allocation engine that is coming, and there's the enterprise routing that I'm going to show you today as well. So if we get started, those are the list of things that I'm going to cover, and I'm happy if you do have any questions throughout the demonstration, just to go through, pop those into the chat, and I'll try and answer those as best as I can as we're going through today's demonstration. So we'll just kick off now. All right. So what you're seeing right now is I'm logged into the system. You've got, starting off here with the map screen, so it's the very basics there of being able to track the live location of your drivers. Fairly straightforward in how that actually operates, and I think many people will know how that actually works. The next area here is the stop screen, and the way we've been thinking about this is there is some improvements that we want to make around how the stop functionality works. One of the things that customers have been asking us to be able to do is to be able to search based on many different types of fields, including some of the custom fields that you create throughout the system. I'm pleased to say we've been working hard on this functionality, and we're just about to have a release that's available. I will demonstrate now what's inside of our test environment. This is not in live yet, but expecting to be there in the coming weeks. So what you'll see here, this is an early preview version. This isn't exactly what it's going to look like when we do go into live, but there will be improvements to the coloring and the statuses and what you'll see there. But this gives you an idea of the things that we're working on. One of the things that we've done is when we're searching for your bookings, we've moved it into this thing called Elasticsearch. Elasticsearch is a substantially faster search engine and allows us to search through a larger number of fields than what we have available today. We've also moved to a grid-based environment. So what this allows us to do is allows you to actually move particular fields that you're wanting to move backwards and forwards. And by selecting on the column functionality here, you can add or remove different fields that you're looking to see in the system. You can just by dragging and dropping, you can move these fields around. You can also then search based on these individual fields or using the main search field at the top here that will search across the entire group. The search results are extremely fast. And you can see here when you page through the different pages, the results there actually, you can see it's actually going through. It loads extremely quickly. So no longer will you be waiting for pages to load. This will happen in a matter of seconds. You can also increase to see the larger numbers of bookings in one go. So in this instance here, I'm scrolling through 100 bookings. You can see how fast that's actually loading. So this is, there's a lot to this, and there's been a fair amount of work that's actually gone into this, and we're really excited to see this coming out to live to our customers in the weeks ahead. And so, yeah, I'm sure many customers are going to really enjoy this new functionality. All right, so that's on the search side of things. Next off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you through some of the other more functionality that we've been working on the optimization engine. The optimization engine is used by a large number of our customers, and this allows you to obviously take in all of your bookings on a particular day and optimize the routes on those bookings. This is our current version of the optimization engine. Down the bottom here, you'll notice a new button here, which is try our new optimization engine. This is available for all customers. There are still a few more tweaks that we're actually making to this, but in general, this actually does work really well. I look here and I say, I'm going to do an optimization for tomorrow. This is the date range that we're actually working on. This is my start location. It will show me a list of all the stops that are available. First thing you'll notice here is the list of the bookings that are available, and we've got the numbers on the screen. Those numbers represent the number of bookings that are actually in that area. And as you zoom down, it will start to show you where those actual dots are. Each of those small dots is an actual booking. And as you zoom out, you'll notice the speed of where you're actually doing this zoom is substantially faster than the current version that we have available. So when I go through to next, it will show me a list of my available drivers. I'll click on next, and it will now run the route optimization engine. What this means is that it will build the route, but now when you're actually going through the zoom process, it will actually allow you to actually see those. You can zoom in there much faster than what you could have previously. So it's a really nice functionality. This is really powerful for companies that are processing a large number of bookings. When you're doing 100 bookings, it'll be fine. If you're doing 500, fine. But when you start doing thousands and 10,000 bookings, this functionality is going to really help you in being able to zoom in on the map and see all that information available to you really quickly. So we're really happy about this. This is available right now. There are a couple more tweaks that will be rolled out early next week that will make this even better. Okay, so next off, I'm going to just continue on to the rates engine. Okay, so one of the important things, obviously, if you're running a logistics business or even a service business that's using our product, is how are you going to bill your customers? This was an important part of the system that we spent a lot of time working on last year. It's now being used by a number of customers, both in Australia and across the world. What you'll see here is on the left-hand side, you've got the ability to rate. Now, this is available on enterprise customers. So if you are interested in using this, please do reach out to us. This allows you to build a rate structure for your customers based on how your business operates. We understand that every single logistics business that we work with is very different, and they all bill based on different types of ways based on the service that they're offering. They also have customers that have different rate structure, and this functionality inside here allows you to actually do that. So I'll walk through a couple of examples on how we might set up a rate. First off, you've got the different options available here. So whether you've got surcharges, whether you've got a fuel levy, whether you've got an hourly, whether you're billing on items, or whether you're billing on weight. In this instance here, I'm just going to click on the plus. I'm going to say, I'm going to create a item-based billing functionality. Here you can actually select which of the days does this actually is valid for. So maybe you've got weekend rates you want to have available. This is perfect for that. But maybe you just want this standard rate to be available for all of your customers on every single day of the week. Here I would say there's a minimum fee of $10. As each item actually goes up, it might be an additional $5. And you actually determine how often. So you might actually say for the first 5 bookings, it's actually this amount, and then the next 5 is actually X amount. You can configure that all here in the rates engine, and you can go create. Once you've created that, you've got the ability to actually go and configure it further by using this option here. This allows you to create a whole range of different functionality around how you're actually going to bill your customers. And so, for example, you might say this rate only applies to when the weight is greater than X, so whatever that might be. Or it might be this rate only applies when the distance is over a certain value. Or it might be based on pickup address being inside of this particular area. And you've got the ability here to create zones, and you can build those through settings. So there's a lot of flexibility in around how you go about building this, and we can walk you through how the best way in doing this. But basically, we've looked at a very large number of rate structures from a range of different businesses that we've been talking to, and we've created this in a way so it is very, very flexible. What you can also do here is you can actually configure the type of service and the billing that you're going to have available. So you might have different types of work. You might be doing a 3-hour delivery versus a same day, or it might be a chilled service versus non-chilled. Whatever that service might be, you can create as many of these services as you like. And then you can also then set these up to link for your different types of customers. What you can also then do is actually switch to how you can actually pay your drivers. You can go here now, and you can then again set up the rate structure for your team members, but you can also do it based on specific team members as well. Again, you go through the same process, you enter in the rules, enter in the details. You can make that so, for this particular area, there's one rate, this particular area is another rate. It's really, really flexible in how you actually go about doing that. So once you've done that and you've entered in your booking and you're going through the processing, the system will automatically build out the rate structure. You'll be able to see that on completion of the booking, and you'll be able to use this process charges form. This will show you a list of all of your bookings, and it will show you the charges that have been applied to each one of the bookings in the system. This allows you to identify the margin on those bookings, but also allows you to make any changes or updates to those bookings before they actually go through the stage of being processed. So here you can actually, if you've changed the rate structure, you can do that. In a coming update in the coming weeks, what you'll also be able to see is how did we come to working out what this rate actually looked like. And it will actually share with you the information around how the rates engine actually produced that rate for that particular stop inside of the system. So from there, what you would then go along to is you'd go along to accounting. This allows you to actually generate the invoice for your team members, but also for your customers. When you go to the customer section here, you'll be able to go through the process of being able to say, please generate my rates and billing over this particular date range. And the system will do this automatically for you. This might be for a weekly period, or it might be for a longer period. You can go create invoices, and the system will go up and build those invoices based on the information that's been created in the system. Once you've done that, you can then email those invoices to your customers, or you can have that downloading into your accounting system like Xero. We're currently integrated with Xero, but we're also looking to integrate with many other accounting systems into the future. So it's really, really straightforward. Happy to walk anyone through that in more detail. The same goes on the team member payment side of things. And this allows you to generate your recipient-created tax invoices for your drivers and also go through the payment process. This will come up with your logo, information here, the list of all of the deliveries that the drivers actually completed, and then allow you to then push that information into your accounting system, generate an email to the drivers saying, here's all your payment details. You could send that days before they're being paid to ask if they've got any inquiries. But really what we're thinking about is your payment cycle and payment process to your drivers and invoices to your customers should be done in a very short period of time. This should substantially save time for companies that are doing this manually. I know in a number of customers that we've spoken to, they had a large number of people that were actually doing their billing for them on a weekly basis. Companies can actually complete this process within a 30 minute to 1 hour process, including the time to actually review all the invoicing that's available in the system. All right, so that gives you a really brief overview, and the idea is to keep this brief so it doesn't go into too much detail, but gives you an idea of the concepts of what we've been able to build in the system. All right, so that has run you through a number of different things. We've gone through the proof of delivery, gone through rates, we've gone through search, and we've gone through the route improvements. Now what I'm going to show you is our carrier integration. This is the area that is quite exciting in terms of being able to connect with other carriers in the system. So I'm just going to change into my account here. Okay, so this is designed for the shipments area. This is where you've got a pickup and a drop off, and allowing you to then dispatch this work out to third-party carriers. When you go down to the settings area, so if we go down to team and we go down to the carriers, you'll see a list of carriers that are available. In this instance here, you connect to these different carriers and you plug in your API details. So you need an account directly with any one of these providers. We're not reselling rates. We're not reselling the services of these providers. You go to those companies, you create an account with them. Once you've got an account with them, you come to us and you can enter in your rates, your API information directly into the system. Here, this goes through the details of how to go about doing that. And you can actually put in your access keys. There are setup links which actually walk you through the setup process for using this. Again, this is available on the enterprise level of Locate2u. And once you've actually configured that and set up your account, you can go to the shipments area. And for example, here, I can click on this option. It will instantly show me a list of active rates that are available based on this particular booking, and it will sort them in a particular order. You can see here the list of the different rates that are available. If you wanted to select it, you would just click on that one and you would assign the shipment. It will automatically dispatch to that particular courier company. And as they're working through it and as they're updating the statuses, that information will automatically be updated in the system here. And you'll see these statuses changing and updating. You'll see them there in this particular example. You'll see the statuses there. And so it's really allowing you to use multiple courier companies to actually be able to do your deliveries in a flexible way. There is a rules engine that is attached to that, and so you can actually have some automatic allocation that can take place based on the rules that you're configuring, and whether you're wanting to say, for this type of work, this is the courier company to use, or if it's based on speed, or if it's based on price, you can set those up inside of the system. Our goal is to get hundreds of carriers into the system, and so we want to see as many of those being added, and we've got a team dedicated to building out carrier integrations right now. If you do, and you're interested in looking at using this, and you have got a particular carrier that we haven't listed here, do reach out to us and we can talk to you about what the process is of actually putting that particular carrier on our roadmap to get that done as quickly as we can. All right, so that's on the carrier side of things. So now what I'll do is I'll just cover the driver app and the updates that we've made on the driver app side of things. So this is, and I'll just share my screen here so you can all see it on my phone directly. So one of the things that we've done is we've tried to make the driver app as flexible as we possibly can. When you go to the settings area here, you'll see the option here, app permission settings. This allows you to basically go through and turn on and off different functionality based on how your business wants to actually operate. One of those areas is the ability to actually have items, and this allows you to do item level scanning on the system. What an item is essentially when you're bringing in a stop into the system, you might have a series of parcels that are associated with that particular stop. This allows you to actually scan each of those individual parcels by using a barcode. So any barcode we can basically read generally, and you can see here on this list here, I've got a series of barcodes. I'm actually going to go through and show you how those actually scan from the driver's point of view. So what you'll see here is this is a live view of my phone, and we'll just go to Locate2u. All right. So one of the things that you'll notice in this new version is when you click on the list view, and it'll have three options. It'll go to the map view, but it will also go to the item level scanning. What I can do is if I'm wanting to be able to scan barcodes, and let's say you've got a warehouse and your drivers turn up every day, and you've already pre-sorted all of these bookings into a particular order or a particular zone for these drivers, the system will allow you to actually take those bookings and have the driver scan them. And as the driver scans them, it will automatically assign them to that particular driver. This is a really quick way of being able to get operational and using Locate2u. What it also means is that your drivers will have access to route optimization. So here what I can do is I can just go to that particular barcode and I can scan it. And let's just see if it scans this one. And once you actually scan that particular barcode, you'll hear that beep sound that you just heard a second ago. And then what it will actually do is it will actually allow you to actually go through the optimization process. So here, in this particular instance, this has been onboarded. Let me just make one change before I do that, and that will assist me. I was just logged into a different account that wasn't linked to that. All right, so that's there. Okay, so we can do that again. So we can go here. And so what you can see now, I've actually onboarded that particular parcel onto this particular driver. You can do that again by just scanning the next parcel there. And if I do the next one here, so you can see the scanning functionality is really, really quick in drivers being able to onboard parcels. It shows the driver all those parcels that have been onboarded. Once they've completed that, they can just click on the button at the bottom to say optimize their route. It will optimize their route into the most efficient route for that particular driver, taking into account their current location. Once this has been completed, the driver can then start the delivery process. And so they can see the routes being created there. Again, they can just go through, they can see it, the list view here. Now, once they're ready to actually do the delivery, they can click on the delivery option here, and they can actually just scan the parcel again, and it can actually mark that to be delivered. Here, they can actually say this one's not delivered or completed, and they can actually go through, depending on how you've configured, it will actually go through and actually say, yes, this is the one that you need to actually deliver. And so it'll run through that process. So we've got full barcode scanning end to end, and this can be used in the instance for companies that are wanting to manage it inside of their warehouse and actually scanning to say, hey, this parcel's actually arrived in our warehouse, and going into particular areas. So going into a bin location, you can scan to a bin and you can create barcodes that actually belong to those particular areas. But then also being able to scan onto a driver and then scan as you're releasing to a customer. It's been used by a number of customers right now, and customers that are processing thousands of bookings on a daily basis by using the system. From there, you've got the ability to actually go in and actually search for any one of those particular parcels here, and you can actually see the status of them as they're being onboarded, and you can go through and be able to view a history of those parcels as they're moving through the process. And so whether they're parcels or larger items, the system will be able to help you go through that process there. All right, so that gives you on the driver app. There's been a number of other improvements on the driver app, particularly from a performance point of view. And so there were some areas in the app previously that, sometimes the app would crash in certain areas. We've spent a lot of time in making this new version being really robust. And that's why we've had it out with a number of customers in a beta version in private testing. And so once we're comfortable with and happy with that, we'll be publishing that live onto the App Store. One of the other areas that we've spent a fair bit of time on recently is inside of settings and inside of configuring the way in which the question functionality works. What you'll notice here is that you have the ability to create a whole series of questions around how the system will work when the driver's actually going through the proof of delivery process, or whether they're going the trip start process, so whether it's the safety questions at the beginning of their trip, or even when that delivery has actually failed. Now, certain of your customers may want certain types of questions to actually appear when you're actually doing proof of delivery. Like some of your customers, you might be delivering really expensive items, and you might want to be able to make sure you are always taking a photograph, or even answering certain types of questions. That's where this functionality comes into play. And so what you'll find here is when you go into the edit functionality, you have the ability here to actually put in a series of conditions. The conditions could be based on a team region, it could be based on the content of that shipment, or it could be based on a particular custom value that's actually come from a custom field. And so you've got the ability to choose all of your fields there as well. So there's complete flexibility in being able to build out this question functionality, and we're looking to build out the way in which this works into other aspects of the system. So thinking about how your SMS notifications work, and having those so that different SMSs content can be sent based on different customers that you're actually working with. So there's a lot there, and again, if you're interested in understanding this more, definitely reach out to us, and we can walk you through that process for your business. There's a lot inside of settings, and when we're thinking about building the Locate2u product, it's all around how do we build the best product that's going to help our customers, but also help a large number of customers and giving them flexibility. We know a lot of these businesses that we're working with are different, and so we wanted to give a lot of flexibility into how the product is working. And that's where you'll see how we're actually configuring everything from settings. And so whether or not that's the app permissions, you've got your questions, you've also got your rate zones, so being able to create different zones to how you're actually going to be doing your billing. You can do that from the system here. Okay, and then the final thing I'll leave you with is one area that we're spending a fair bit of work on at the moment is the customer portal. So you do have the ability to create a list of all of your customers in the system. And what you'll notice here is these ones have been enabled just by going onto the edit functionality and to create a login for this particular customer. This allows the customer to actually be able to log into the system and to see their bookings. We're actually doing a number of updates that will see this coming out in February, which will improve this functionality and providing more functionality available to customers. This works today, but we think the next update of this is going to coming out in February will really add a lot of value to our customers in how they're using the system. So finally, I just wanted to thank everyone for the time today. I'm really happy to answer any questions that people might have. But again, also happy for you to reach directly out to our team. You can reach out to me directly if you want to have me answer any of your questions. I'm always available. You can find me on LinkedIn just by searching my name, or emailing me directly at steve@locate2u.com. So I'll just see if there are any particular questions that anyone might have. And just coming through here now. Cool. So I guess there's a couple of questions around timing of the search that I showed earlier. I am expecting that to come out in February. And yeah, I think that definitely will make a big difference to a number of customers that are using the search functionality. All right, so that's all the questions for now. Wanted to thank everyone for joining. I know everyone's time is precious, and yeah, really appreciate the time. And again, feel free to reach out to us with any questions. Thanks very much.